nora alila, el nora alila, amse lanu mechila, bishat haneilah.
Mete mispar keruim l'chayin nosim saldim bechila bishat haneilah.
El nora alila, el nora alila, amse lanu mechila, bishat haneilah. שופכים לך נפשם בחפישם וכחשם המסיעם בחילה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, עמסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה.
היה להם לסיסרא והלצים ממארה וחוטאים להור ולגילה בשעת הנעילה.
אל נורא עלילה, חונות נורא עלילה, המסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה. חונותם ורחם וכל לוחץ ולוחם עשה בהם ולילה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, עמסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה.
זכור צדקת אביהם וחדש את ימיהם כקדם ותהילה בשעת הנעילה.
אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, המסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה. קרנה שנת רצון והשב שער הצאן לאוהליבה ועולה בשעת הנעילה. אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, עמסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה.
תזכו לשנים רבות הבנים והבנות בצידה ובצהלה בשעת הנעילה.
אל נורא עלילה, אל נורא עלילה, עמסה לנו מחילה בשעת הנעילה.
Page 618. When I consider the heavens, the work of your hands, when I gaze at the sea of space and its endless array of stars, when I set out to understand this marvel and its maker, your greatness overwhelms me. Your majesty makes me tremble with awe. What are we that you have given us eyes to glimpse your truth? What am I that you have given me a mind to fathom hints of your purpose? We are witnesses to nature's repeated refrains, forests dancing with life, mountains rising like prayers, oceans bursting forth with hymns. In the midst of this beauty, you have placed within humanity two worlds, mortal flesh and immortal soul, finite matter and infinite spirit. You have taught us to live at peace with the earth and with all living beings, and to care for the works of your hands. But something deep within us darkens the soul. In nature, spring follows winter, but human behavior is far less certain. Called to a life of righteousness, we rebel, possessed by arrogance and unrestrained ambition. Again and again, we speak of the struggle between good and evil, love and hate, forgetting that the power to choose is the greatness and glory of our humanity. In our forgetfulness, life loses its beauty, and we hear a voice of judgment. Where are you? How you have fallen. In this hour of Neilah, as day fades into dusk, we hear another voice. It says, Ata noten yad leposhim, v'mincha pshuta lekabel shavim. You hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. The gates of your forgiveness are open wide.
Gadal vit kadash shemeh rabah amen be'alma divrach iruteh V'amlich malchuteh b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayed chol Beit Yisrael b'gala u'v'zman Kariv v'imru Amen Yehi Shemech Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam u'lamei Amaya Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'itramam v'itnasem v'ithadar v'it'aleh v'ithalal shemeh dekudesha birichu le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. We continue on page 622 with the next segment of our prayer. It is traditional to rise here, so if you are able and if you're comfortable, please do so. But this will be a long section of standing, so please, if you're at home, if you're feeling uncomfortable, you may sit down. But for those who are able to, we rise on 622. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agiti hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel, Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, U'mevi geula livnei v'nehem, Leman shemo be'ava. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotmeinu b'sefer ha'chaim, lemancha Elohim chaim. Zochreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotmeinu b'sefer ha'chaim, lemancha Elohim chaim. Melech ozer u'Moshiach magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Yibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Akol, Atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechagel Chaim b'chesed, Mechaye hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato l'shenei afar, mi chamocha b'gevurot u'midol melach, melech memit u'mekayem u'matzmiach Yeshua. Mi chamocha el harachamim, zocher, zocher yitzurav lechaim berachamim. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. שמע נא היום עבור כיפן היום ונהללך נורא והיום.
Our sovereign, God of pardon and forgiveness, let these words of sanctity ascend to you. Open the gates of righteousness for us. Open the gates that we may enter and praise the eternal. Open the gates for us, for all Israel, and for people everywhere. The gates of acceptance and atonement, beauty and creativity, the gates of dignity, empathy, and faith, the gates of generosity and hope, insight and joy, the gates of knowledge and love, meaning and nobility, the gates of openness, patience, and the quest for peace, the gates of renewal, song, and tranquility, the gates of understanding and virtue, the gates of wisdom and wonder, exaltation, youth, and old age, the gates of Zion, reborn and rebuilt in our time. Open the gates, open them wide, show us the way to enter. וחתמנו בספר החיים לברכה ולקדושה, כי אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש ושעריך בקדושה ניכנס. Seal us for holiness and blessing in the book of life. For you are holy and your name is holy, and we yearn to enter your gates in holiness. כי אתה נותן יד לפושעים וימינך פשוטה לקבל שווים. For you hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return.
Continuing on page 634. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela Baruch atah Adonai hamelech HaKadosh.
Please be seated. I read on page 636. You chose us with love to be messengers of mitzvot, and through us you made known your aspirations. Among all the many peoples, you gave us a pathway to holiness. Among all the great nations, you uplifted us and made yourself our sovereign. And so we seek you and serve you and celebrate our nearness to your presence. Your great and sacred name has become our calling. In your love eternal, our God, you have given us this Yom Kippur, a day on which our wrongs are forgiven, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of our people's going out from Egypt. Eternal our God, remember us, be mindful of us, and redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Favor us with the words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion.
Page 639. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of all generations. On this great Sabbath of forgiveness, forgive our moral failings. On this great Sabbath of goodness, teach us to be satisfied with your goodness. On this great Sabbath of atonement, purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Year after year, you set us on the path from guilt to holiness. Our God and God of all generations, let us feel your nearness. Let us know your love. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. Let our eyes and hearts experience your presence in Zion. God of goodness, mercy, and hope, we are grateful for your gifts of love and compassion. Seal us today for a life of integrity, lived in covenant with you. God of peace, grant us peace, your most precious gift. You have given us freedom to choose between good and evil, life and death. May we choose life and good, that our children may inherit from us the blessing of peace. May we and the whole family of Israel be remembered and sealed in the book of life. Blessed is forgiveness, and blessed are goodness, mercy, and love. Blessed is the nearness of divine presence, and blessed is the hope for peace. Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. You are the Blessed One, the Eternal One, source of peace.
Petach lanu shar be'et neilah shar ki fanayom hayom yifneh Hashemesh yavo ve'yifneh navo she'arecha Ana elna sanas bilachna mecha chamona rachemna gaberna kivoshchet ve'avon.
One after another, things are happening to me which at another time would light up in me all the lamplights of joy. And I would walk then lovely, careful lest they be extinguished, carrying back and forth humble thanksgiving. But in this setting, they are summer flashes, sparks, and when they vanish, the clouds are even darker, and in the stifling air there is no expectation of rain. Heaven stands sealed. Open for us a gate.
El melech yoshev al kisei rachamim, nitnaheg b'chasidut, mochel avonot amo, ma'avir rishon marbe mechila uchatayim, וסליחה לפושעים עושה צדקות עם כל בשר ורוח לא רעתם תגמול. וירד אדוני בענן ויתיישב עמו שם ויקרא בשם אדוני. Adonai, Erachum v'chanun, Erech Abayim, v'rav chesed ve'emet, Notzer chesed la'alafim, Nose avon v'fesha, v'chata'a v'nakeh. Salach na l'avon ha'am hazeh, kegodel chasedecha, v'cha'asher nasat l'am hazeh, ממצרים ועד הינם, ממצרים ועד הינם. אדוני, אדוני, רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה ונקה. The bottom of page 646.
Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha. Vayomer Adonai, salachti
Salach lanu avinu כי חטאנו, מחלנו מלכנו, כי פשענו. כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, ורב חסד לכל קוראיך. אדוני, אדוני, רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע, וחטא ונקה.
Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, forgive us, pardon us, and lead us to atonement.
The spiritual journey of the High Holy Days began over a month ago with the start of the month of Elul, the month that is dedicated to beginning the process of Cheshbon HaNefesh, introspection and soul-searching to help us prepare for the month of Tishrei, the month of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and the upcoming holy days of Sukkot and Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. So the process of Teshuvah, as seen in our calendar, is a journey. It is not something that is done in a few minutes or in one epiphany, quote-unquote, type of moment. And today, here, now, in our Neilah service, we are approaching the end of Yom Kippur. And in a few moments, we are going to do our final set of confessional prayers for this high holy day. Usually in our Yom Kippur services, there are two confessions, a short one, the so-called Ashamnu, and a long one, the so-called Al-Chet. In the Neilah service, we only do the Ashamnu, the short confession. And in the long confession of Neilah, as our prayer book notes, we replace the confessional with the phrase Ata Noten Yad. You, God, stretch out your hand. So now the focus of our service and of our Yom Kippur shifts from straight and complete confession of our sins to, yes, a short confession, but a shift in emphasis to God's forgiving love and God's grace and power. And as God, Noten Yad, stretches forth a hand to us during this hour of Neilah, I believe that one of the messages our Neilah service wants to take with us as we exit Yom Kippur is that we too need to Noten Yad. We need to send forth our hand to those we love, to those whom we have hurt, to those in need. As God accepts us in love, let us accept all people and all humanity with love, compassion, and kindness.
As we continue on page 652, if you're comfortable, if you're able, please rise. Anu azefani ve'ata rachum v'chanun. Anu k'shei orev ve'ata erech apayim. Anu milei avon ve'ata molei rachamim. Anu yameinu k'tzei lover ve'ata hu ushnotecha lo itanu. Eloheinu, Elohe Avoteinu, v'imoteinu. Tavo lifanecha tefilateinu. Altidala mitchinateinu. Anachnu azeifanim uk'she'oref lomar lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'imoteinu tzadikim anachnu v'lo chatanu aval anachnu chatanu. Please join me responsively with a shamnu. Ay 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 da 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 ay 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 da 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 ay ay ashamnu bagadnu gazalnu dibarnu dofi ay 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 da 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 ya da 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 hevinu v'hirshanu zadnu chamasnu tafalnu sheker ay 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 da 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 ya da 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 ya'atznura kizavnu latznu maradnu niatznu ay 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 da da ya da da sararnu Avinu Pashanu Sararnu Kishinu Oref ay 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 da da ya da da Rashanu Shichatnu Ti avnu Talinu Titanu Ay 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 da 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 ay da 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 ay.
Of these wrongs we are guilty. We betray, we steal, we scorn, we act perversely. We are cruel, we scheme, we are violent, we slander. We devise evil, we lie, we ridicule, we disobey. We abuse, we defy, we corrupt. We commit crimes. We are hostile, we are stubborn, we are immoral, we kill, we spoil, we go astray, we lead others astray. Please be seated. What can we say to you whose existence is beyond time and space? What words of ours can reach your realm beyond the clouds, beyond heaven itself? Every hidden mystery, every revelation, surely you know them all. Ata noten yad lefoshim, you hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. You teach us the true purpose of confession, to turn our hands into instruments of good, to cause no harm or oppression. Receive us as you promised in the fullness of our heartfelt teshuvah. You show us many paths to forgiveness, countless ways to make our lives count. For you know that in the end, we will return to the dust of the earth. What are we? What is our life? What is the breadth of our goodness, the depth of our righteousness, the true measure of our achievements and success? What use is our power? What good is our strength? What can we say to you, eternal our God, God of all generations? In your presence there are no heroes, and great reputations dissolve. The wise appear unlearned, and the discerning look foolish. For all our deeds amount to futility, in the days of our lives, emptiness. We human beings are no better than beasts. All is vanity.
Ata yivrata enosh merosh, v'takirehu lamod lefanecha, v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava et Yom Kippurim hazeh kedu mechila u'slicha al kol avonoteinu lema'an echdav mehoshek yadeinu v'nashuv elecha lasot chukei retzonecha belevav shalem. Ve'ata berachamecha rabbi rachem aleinu ki lo tachpot bechashchat olam shenemar dirshu b'himod ogrou בקרוב ונאמר יעזוב רשע דרכו וישבר מחשבותיו וישב את אדוני וירחמהו ואלוהינו כי ירבה לסלוח ואתה אלוה שיחות רחום וחנון מלך אפיים רב חסד ומרבה להיטיב ורוצה אתה בתשובת רשעים ואין אתה חופץ במיתתם שנאמר אמור עליהם חי אני נאום אדוני אלוהים אם אשכמות מות הרשע כי אם בשובו מדרכו וחיה שובו מדרכם הרעים ולא תמותו בית ישראל ולא תמותו בית ישראל כי אתה סלחן ישראל ומוחלה לשבטי ראשון בכל דור ודור ומבעדך אלינו מלך בוחר וסולח אלא אתה.
I read on page 661. From this place of prayer and community, we will soon return to our homes. May we take with us the spirit of this day, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, sovereign God who treasures life. Help us turn our homes into havens of your love, sanctuaries of your compassion. Let them be shelters against the storm, dwelling places for all that is life-giving and good.
We continue with Avinu Malkeinu, page 662. Please rise if you're able. Avinu Malkeinu, kabel barachamim uvratzon et tefilatenu. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh lema'an rachamecha harabim. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of your boundless compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, aseh imanu lema'an shemecha. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu b'sefer parnasa v'chalkala. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of sustenance and livelihood. Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu b'sefer zechuyot. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of worthiness and merit. Avinu Malkeinu, chotmenu b'sefer slicha u'mechila. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of forgiveness and pardon. Avinu Malkeinu, Chotmenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, Chotmenu B'Sefer Geula V'Yeshua. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, Malei Yadeinu Mebirchotecha. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, Patach Sha'arei Shemayim Litfilatenu. Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, Ein lanu melech ela ata. Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu va'anenu, ki ein banu ma'asim. Asei imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace when our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu, Banu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu.
Please be seated. We continue on the top of page 667, top of 667. To live life in all its fullness is to stand in awe before an open gate, to gaze into a doorway of hope, a wondrous portal of possibilities. Many are the gates of our lives, many the treasures toward which they lead, and how many close behind us, lost, forgotten, and sealed forever? How many gates, how many years? Standing in awe before the gates of a new year, we see its most precious gift, the minutes and the hours, the days and the weeks, the treasure house of time. Every moment is a vessel of infinite holiness. Every morning, noon, and night is a gateway to life's immensity. How will we use this precious gift?
Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemeh rabbah be'alma divrach iruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayed chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imeru amen amen yehi shemeh Rabba mivarach ve'alam ulamei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemeh dekudisha brichu Ela ul ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da amiran be'alma ותשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואימרו אמן אמן תתקבל צלותיהון ובאותיהון דכל בית ישראל קודם אבוהון דיבי שמיה ואימרו אמן יהי שמך רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואימרו אמן אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואימרו
We continue on page 670. We stand as one before the gates of a new year, renewed by this day of atonement, made stronger by all who are with us, and by those whose presence we feel within. As the long day fades into dusk, we join our voices in words of hope and dedication. Pitchu lanu sha'arei tzedek, navovam nodeya. Open for us the gates of righteousness, that we may enter and praise the eternal source of life. Open for us the gates of sacred community, that we may enter and feel its healing power. Open for us the gates of truth and integrity, that we may enter and grow in faithfulness. Open for us the gates of devotion and principle, that we may enter and find enduring values and meaning. Open for us the gates of repentance and return, that we may enter and offer our best. Open for us the gates of forgiveness, that we may enter and offer our humanity. Open for us the gates of kindness and compassion, that we may enter and offer our love. Page 672, please rise.
Come join me. One of you guys can join me up for this one. Yeah, come on up. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Adonai Hu HaElohim 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 Tekiah Gedolah Havdalah.
We conclude our High Holy Day experience on Yom Kippur with the ceremony of Havdalah. Just as we conclude every Shabbat with the Havdalah, separation ceremony, to mark the transition from holy time back into ordinary time, so too do we always end Yom Kippur, no matter what day of the week it occurs, with Havdalah, to celebrate this intense spiritual and holy experience that we've had over Yom Kippur, from the regular time, our ordinary lives that we resume right at the end of the holiday. And so the candles, the wine, the spices, and the melodies and prayers we sing now help us make this transition back into our regular lives. And the best thing we could do, of course, is to take with us the words we've heard, the melodies we've sung, the teachings of our tradition over this Yom Kippur, to take the promises we have made to do teshuvah, and to enact them every day of our lives. We continue now with the ceremony of Havdalah.
Adonai Elohim.
Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, chatotenu hu himchol, zar'enu v'chaspenu yar v'kachol, v'kachol kavim balayla. Shavua tov, shana tova, shana tova, shana tova, shana tova, shana tova, shana tova, shana tova. A good year, a year of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good year, a year of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagil Ati, Nimhera Liaminu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagil Adi.
And now, final act, transition from Kodesh L'chol. Watch this. It's not rounding. We're back to Chol. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ahotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. B'tei Avon.
B'teavon, everybody. Enjoy your great fast and a good and healthy year to us all. Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova.